heroes, and hopefully welcome some coffee fans to the next edition of the Craft Beer channel. Today, due to the fact we're slightly hungover and due to another reason we'll get into, we thought we'd go back into the world of adjuncts and explore coffee beers.
Quite natural bedfellows.
Yeah, so they both involve like that original ingredient, so it's coffee bean or malt. They involve hot water to release those aromatic compounds, and then they both involve bitterness.
And brew.
And the word brew. So I feel like they should be natural bedfellows, and I've had some stunning coffee beers.
Yes.
And if I may be a little bit sponsored for one moment, you can also experience this wonderful thing by buying tickets to Uppers and Downers, which is run by Good Beer Hunting, and we contribute to. They are running a coffee and beer festival. They have one in Chicago that's very successful, and they've got one happening in London, Hackney Wick, this very weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
Still tickets available, loads of coffee, loads of beer. I call it Tired and Wired because that's what we're going to be. But enough advertising, because if this is on Dave, you've missed your opportunity.
So Johnny, you've whizzed around the tap.
I've whizzed around the tap.
You've selected some amazing beers, you've told me here. You've even said one of them is one of your favourite beers in the world.
But we're not going to start with that one. We're actually going to start with Siren Broken Dream.
Yes.
It's absolutely stunning. Loaded with coffee aroma.
So this is core range for
it's
Siren.
It's available all
Which
year
is
round.
kind of like amazing actually for...
Siren weirdly have a core coffee and a core tea beer. So maybe they shouldn't be in beer at all.
They should be in warm drinks.
Yeah. Warm
And like
drinks.
biscuits.
If we give you some quick spiel, it's deep and complex, awakens your imagination, coffee and chocolate aromas, silky unctuousness. They put unctuousness
I
on
feel like
it.
you're describing me here, Johnny.
How about thick?
Well, sometimes, after I've had a few, maybe.
Thick and velvety
Yes, that's
is
me.
the full
And
phrase.
certainly velvety, this is for sure. Well, it's coffee.
Yeah.
It's definitely coffee.
Don't really know what else to say. Coffee and a little bit of milk chocolate, there's a little bit of sweetness there.
There's a little bit of vanilla for me as
Yeah,
well.
I think I'm picking up on the same thing there. Vanilla-y, milky chocolate, slightly processed kind of milk chocolate that's quite inviting and nostalgic.
Yeah, really sweet and sort of delicious.
Yeah.
Unctuous.
Unctuous.
As they've said.
Thick. How good's that?
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Like-
I mean, it's quite a warm day outside, but do you know what? I am hanging, and this is...
It's a bit like iced coffee, which
It's
is
like
good
an iced
for a
coffee.
hangover. Packet of crisps and iced coffee, and
Can
you're
we
fixed, right?
put some ice in there and then like a bit of spray cream on the
I
top?
can't believe you just said that. Spray cream.
I don't know.
Fuck off to Starbucks. So up front it's all roasty coffee, dark chocolate, and then it's sweet, and it's got that acidity, but like filter, like pour over coffee has that red berry kind of acidity. It's a really well balanced, really fruity, but also nice and sweet beer. I think it's the best coffee beer you can get year round, as far as I know. If you know better, let me know, but I love it.
And the thing for me is it's not too powerful, is it? It's not overpowering.
No,
It's really quaffable.
It's got that acidity at the finish that means it's not a really heavy.
It's not crazy
roasty
bitter.
beer.
It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm gonna explode. This is too much.
You're gonna explode.
Brain can't handle it.
Uppers and Downers could be tricky for you, right?
Yeah, I think I might have some sort of seizure induced by too much caffeine.
Maybe like that episode of The Simpsons where Bart has too much that sugar and his eyes go weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Sparkle for any other Simpsons fans out there.
So beer number 2, this is one of my favourite beers in the world, but it is aged, so it's completely out of date.
Right.
That's a nonsense, right? It's an imperial stout with coffee and cherry. That will never go out.
It's gonna keep growing,
Yeah.
surely. No, I saw like a YouTube thing about a guy that was eating like World War Run rations out of a can or something. So you can eat these things like after 100 years. So, you know, imagine some future caveman sort of character discovering this after the apocalypse. That's why he's like a caveman.
He's going to pick this up and he'll be drinking like virtual beer again. These guys, they weren't very advanced.
Yeah.
But then he'll see.
What is this? What is this crazy label?
You show that.
Yeah, we need to show
So this is a Northern Monk beer, brewed with Other Half Brewing Company in New York, who I guess some said both these breweries are more known for their IPAs, but both of them have made great imperial stouts in the past. So this is a Morello cherry and Peruvian coffee stout. So I'm expecting all the red berry notes. We got some of it there that cleaned it up. I'm expecting all of that, plus some booze, and the fact it's aged, maybe some sherry notes. We'll see.
Whoa.
It's actually got that Ovaltine Horlicks kind of malt character.
Yeah, it's
to
malty.
it. Biscuity.
Why is it malty?
Well, I think that's just the sheer amount of malt. Maybe lots and lots of specialty malt like caramel, ton of Munich. I mean, when you make a stout, actually the amount of truly roasted stout that you use, truly roasted malt that you use, is actually quite small. So lots of it is still pale malt and specialty malt. So they've used lots of that. Yeah, and they've maybe done an extended boil to caramelise lots of the sugars.
It smells amazing. It smells totally different to the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like the kind of sweet, vanilla-y upper things. There is a like, sort of a darker cherry.
It's got a coffee cake, gatto, Black Forest gatto kind of vibe.
It's going all around the mouth. Man.
Yeah. Heady.
Great.
Heady and
It's beautiful.
Like the sweetness and the acidity really mingle to make for like literally like a Black Forest gatto. That acidic cherry and the cakey, doughy.
It's like super rich, isn't it? Really, the dark sort of.
Yeah. And it's lighter than you think. I think it definitely has oxidized. I think it's thinned out a little bit, like it might in a barrel, but it's done it in a can. So it's not as intense as it was. It's a little bit mellower, a little bit lighter.
So if you get a fresher one, it's going to be even more.
I think there'll be more coffee, more cherry, and more body.
Yeah.
This is mellowed out really, really nicely. Like the original one you'd have with a Black Forest gatto.
Yeah.
This one I'd maybe have with a blue cheese or something. It's begging for some salinity.
What's the Peruvian connection? That was the coffee beans.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you not read it when you unwound?
No, I couldn't.
No, I didn't read it.
I can almost hear the panpipes.
Peruvian Nehemias floras, big and bold with notes of milk chocolate, sweet cherry, and peach. That's what the coffee is supposed to be.
I'm not really getting the
peachiness.
You get the peachiness.
Well, I get the light fruit. It's not a dark fruit.
Right. Okay.
Kind of thing, but which you'd expect from a coffee.
You would.
Yeah, but now coffee's gone through the same revolution that beer has. Probably did it beforehand, where you've got all these tropical notes out of it, like roastiness, bitterness has gone down just like it has in IPAs. Mm-hmm. There's so many synergies, and I get that from this beer as well.
So, you've brought a really big bowl there, Johnny.
I really have. It's not compensating. It's just you're going to want loads of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's certainly plenty to go around. It's almost like a magnum size.
Yeah, it's also like it's got those little divots, like it's a swing top,
like a growth sheet.
Yeah, like a Grolsch. Yes, good comparison.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of any other beers that still use that.
Hacker-Shaw,
okay.
Munich.
All right, fair dues.
Lots of German guys.
Yeah.
Flensburger. But yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be a
dick. That was a fashion trend in the 80s.
Flip tops.
People used to wear them on their shoes.
What?
The little toppy bits. Ross used to do it apparently. So people used to wear them on their shoes. Google it.
So, talking about beer for a second. So this is called No Country. So this is from Garage, who, much like Other Half and Northern Monk, are mostly famous for their New England and West Coast IPA. But this is, I don't think it's year-round, but it's pretty common. Right. They brew it quite a lot. And it's an absolute stunner. Beautiful. So they call it a Coffee Crema Catalana Imperial Stout.
Wow.
Now, the difference... Yeah, it really is. Say that after a bottle of this. You can see from pattern pouring it's viscous.
It's syrupy as hell.
So they've added a load of Nomad, which is the brand of coffee in Barcelona. A load of Nomad coffee at the end of fermentation, so it's kind of dry hopped with coffee. So I'm expecting loads in the aroma, maybe a little bit less flavour. Great, because you're not utilising those oils. Brad's allergic to Nomad coffee. So along with the coffee that they've dry hopped it with, there's also vanilla in this. So they're going to have enhanced that sweetness. So where we had some acidity with these guys, I think we're going to have sweetness instead.
Wow.
So you get vanilla, you get coffee, but it's earthy as well, which the other two aren't. There's no earth on those guys.
This is a powerful brew.
Yeah.
This has been like... This is almost like one of those like 1980s cup things, like the glass things you put in the heater, percolator.
Yeah.
And it's been left on for like 10 years.
It's really cooked right now.
And it's like condensed into a thick, gloopy coffee cake.
Yeah.
Wow. Quite fluffy and...
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of like the slightly pastry-esque Omnipollo beers. There's the sweetness, there's the kind of biscotti, or those flat biscuits you get with coffee sometimes that are really caramel-y.
Oh, I love those.
I can't remember what they're called.
They're in the little red packets.
Yeah,
they're amazing. It's like one of my favourite
it reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah,
very different beer to these two. Very much more in the pastry mould. Less of a beer, less of a coffee, and more of a, I guess, a dessert beer is the best word for this. You could have this instead of as a dessert, whereas these guys you'd have with dessert or with cheese.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's come from Catalonia, which is like, that's such a hot, warm place.
Yeah.
I can't really see myself drinking one of those in the heat necessarily. But maybe it's an afternoon. Instead of a cup of coffee, maybe it is.
You'd sit out in the cafe, and instead of having an espresso, you'd have yourself a no country.
A 2-pint no country.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I'd love to know what the no country kind of means. If anyone knows.
No country for old men?
Maybe.
That's
what I assumed it was a reference
like a bleak sort of, but amazing cowboy film.
Maybe it's a tale about pastry beers and how they've changed everything, much like the No Country film. What's his face? Tommy Lee Cooper's a bit like,
Curtis.
I don't know.
Tommy Lee Curtis. Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. So good at cultural references. Tommy Cooper was a very different guy. Where he's like, everything's changed, I don't know, like people are so fucking evil these days, I don't know how to...
Oh, the summing up bit, yeah, that is quite amazing.
Yeah, maybe it's like that, it's like, I don't know what to do, I just have to deal with what's in front of me and make a pastry
beer.
Except
with the giant pastry beer.
Well, thank you for tuning in for that one. We just thought it would be a fun excuse to experiment with coffee beer. If you head to Uppers and Downs, you can try more, or of course, come down to the tap or go online and find yourself some coffee beer. There are so many synergies, although I was surprised by how unbitter all these were.
Yeah. Have our palates totally changed where we just can't absorb bitterness anymore?
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Pick up some coffee beers, let us know what your favourite coffee beers are, and maybe we'll see you at Uppers and Downers this weekend.